Well, we are now recording. We are now live. So we're going to do a little smudging here to get Ashley all brushed off because I know how it is driving. But I went out and started my car this morning. I'm grateful. They say I got a warm house and my car works. So I am grateful.
Yep. A lot to be grateful for.
Well, I'll tell you, the last 2 nights I haven't slept a nickel.
Oh,
Well,
that aren't good.
I finally got up and says, because I couldn't release the phlegm in my lungs,
Good. Yeah.
and I just had a heck of a time. And then I got up this morning and says, "How do you reduce phlegm in the lungs?" And it had about 17 things that I looked at. So when you don't know, ask.
Yeah.
That's one of the advantages of AI, I guess.
Yeah.
Uh, anyway, uh, this is the third class. We're moving into the Thanksgiving, which is the purest form of prayer is gratitude.
Yep.
So one of the books I use here is Living in Gratitude, and how November is both where the veils are the thinnest. We're moving from the west, which is the water, the mirror, the reflection. We had to go within, and the gifts of the North, I've been looking at them, and one of them is last week I reviewed my recording, and I'm always the most critical of myself. So I thought I did pretty good, but I forgot to finish volition, what volition is, and that's the 5 steps in order to accomplish, not only start things, but finish them and have the perseverance to stick with it. That's like Bear Creek. It just keeps on flowing, doesn't let those rocks stop it.
It does. It does what it does.
It does. We're moving into the winter, and I got the place secured. I got the water running. Glenn went out there and brought me some hoops back, so I got enough to keep me busy.
Oh, good. What are y'all expecting? Some ice coming your way? Snow?
Expectations. No, but I know
It's close, huh?
I got to get through the winter. I don't have to, but I want to do it with grace and ease.
Mhm. And icicles.
And icicles, because my house is warm. I go out to Bear Creek, I got to start that fire and go out and chop kindling.
Yeah.
So, but I'm doing a lot of great things. I'm working on a nonprofit so I can, when I croak, I'll have an end of life thing. I'm working with a good friend of mine, an attorney,
Mhm.
native woman that lives here in Oregon. And we called the attorney out there in Stevenson, and he works on wills, and so we're going to have a conference with him when he gets back from overseas. So I feel like I'm making progress. That's
Oh, great. Good.
planting, planting the seeds.
Yeah.
I think one of the great things that Mandy has taught me is how much stronger women are than men in so many ways. She taught me how to keep a plant alive, and that's a miracle.
That, that's a miracle.
And I see no plants in Bob Hall's room.
I've got a dead cactus, and if you murder the cactus, But it's actually your fault because it died while I was in those 3 weeks that are, I mean, that 4 or 5 weeks that I was in Oregon. I thought it would survive, but fooled me.
Well, cactus usually live a long time. If you can kill a cactus, good job.
If you can kill a cactus, you can kill anything.
You can kill
That's right.
it. So anyway, I reviewed my talk, and I was pretty happy with it. First, I was critical, and then I was talking about attention intention, which is the first step of volition.
Uh,
Says we're not entitled to anything. It's the 12 steps. So, you have to work for these gifts. People think they're entitled to things, but
the cactus just needed to work harder.
well, I'm grateful that I can keep a plant alive now.
Yeah.
I'll pray for Bob because he's air sign.
I am,
He's an
I,
airhead.
that's right.
What do you remember about the North, Bob?
I remember that it's cold out there. And there's a good song about, babe, it's cold out there. So
Well, I'm talking about from west to north on the medicine wheel.
uh,
The sacred tree, that's what this class is about. The gifts of the north direction.
yeah. Well, to me, it's both a beginning and an ending at the same time. Because that's really how it works for me is that it can be uncomfortable, but still appreciate being here to enjoy the uncomfortableness,
Yeah,
and it's just there's something about it. I mean, it's dark and it's easier to sit in meditation when it's dark, and I get an extra 30 minutes of sleep just because I'm lazy. And so that's how I'm using it.
well, now I'll just turn to my sister here, Ashley, because I'm sure she remembers a little bit about the teachings of the North, right?
It's a time of prayer, meditation, and dreaming. That's what I think of
Yeah.
in the North.
Well, let's bring them up. Could we have let's bring up I wish I could do this. She moves so damn fast. I mean, it's a blessed fast. Let's see. Red Road class. Here we go.
And then
So one of these is the teachings of
this one.
that one would work. You can go in on the North. Got an expert here. Okay. We're moving in on the gifts of the four directions. It's funny, I had a woman come in today that was Leonard Peltier's daughter, and one of the Robidoux women came in, and these two old elder women, they're very beautiful people. And I had a good day of sales. I had 2 customers, but
Nobody to bother you, huh?
well, in some ways I'm happy because
Yeah.
we're open by appointment. Okay, so let me look here. The North is knowledge it's planning. It's like, yeah, make it a little north. Elders, that's me and Bob. Elders, wisdom, thinking, analyzing, understanding, speculating, calculation, prediction, organizing, management of power, categorizing, discriminating, criticizing, problem solving, imagining, interpreting, intellectual completion, intellectual and completion, fulfillment, and end of lessons, finishing, detachment. I love this one. Freedom from fear, hate, and love, and committed to self-knowledge. So it's more of a higher knowledge, insight, consciousness, living a balanced life, being centered, moderation, and another air sign, which is justice. So those are the gifts to reflect on, for that we're not entitled to any of this stuff, but I love the one that says freedom from fear, freedom from hate. That's detachment, they say in Buddhism. Attachment creates suffering. So when we're praying for these gifts, there's 5 steps to volition, is how we earn the gifts. And last time I talked a lot about the first step, which is attention, intention. It's where are you giving your presence? I talked about going into Christmas season, and are we buying presents or do we give our presents? And that's paying attention. That's giving your attention, which is loving. Like when we feel tended to, we're happy. But if you buy, like I bought my little girl a bunch of toys, put it under the tree, and then she was depressed right after she opened everything. So it was about teaching the kids about respect for the elders, by being respectful. And that starts with self-respect. So the love of the what this one over here, this is,
Which one?
let's go back up to the top. Let's see. How do I, okay. So here's the west. So we're moving from west to north. So from the west, we were into darkness, the unknown, the going within, dreams. It's like when we fall asleep, if we do. Hopefully I can get to sleep tonight. Perseverance, the testing of the will, the ability to stick to things, consolidation of your power, management of your power, spiritual insight, meditation, fasting, reflection, contemplation, silence, retrospectiveness, respect for the elders and the spiritual struggles and others' beliefs, spiritual awareness, sacrifice, humility, a love of the Creator, commitment to self and a higher knowledge, a moral code, and a struggle for others, ceremony, clear self-knowledge, a vision of the possibilities and potentialities. So we're going from the west, which is the mirror, which is more the lakes that you look down into a lake and it reflects. You get near the streams and they all flow towards the west coast over on this side of the planet. And over where I was born, everything flowed to the east coast, the Atlantic Ocean. Out here it's the Pacific Ocean. So I think the greatest gift you can do is to make something and give it away that you've made with your hands, like a rattle, like these ladies bought drums for their grandkids, and I was so grateful I could. And they talked about my store over on Sandy Boulevard when I had a whole bunch of Indians working there and making drums for me. I got too big for my britches. I had to put my tail between my legs and come back to where it worked, because I tried to fix it and it didn't work. But I learned from it.
You found it.
Yeah, I learned something. So the second step in volition is goal setting. Like, I got up this morning and says, I'm going to cut out and punch a 17-inch horse, because I have an order for one down there, and I told the guy I would send it out this week. I didn't feel like it, but I did it anyway. So it's a commitment, goal setting, and if I hadn't made it, that would have been okay too. But I don't like to leave my hides in the water too long, because they start to stink, and people don't like that. So only chew off what you can handle. And at 85, if I can make 1 or 2 drums a day, I'm happy. That's still something I think that we need, is the vibration, the resonance. And so the third step of volition after goal setting is initiating action. It's like pray for potatoes, but grab a hoe. It's like you can pray all you want to for things, but potatoes are not made in heaven. They're made under the earth. So you have to plant. Then we do our planting in the spring. We start our ripening in the south, and then they had the harvesting in the west, and then the gratitude that we have enough in the north, which is seeking freedom from, like I was singing out there, Joy to the World, and all the Christmas songs I can remember, because I was saying this, I use a sweat lodge, but I don't pour anymore, because I just was doing the work for everyone, and rather than having some goal setting and preparing for ceremony, because everybody wants to do ceremony, but nobody wants to help prepare. And that's initiating action is the third step. The fourth step is perseverance. Nothing takes the place of persistence. Okay. What are you going to do today? I'm going to soak hides and make drums. That's my goal. And then I initiate action. I put a hide in the water and let it baptize and hydrate. And then I cut it out and punch it. And it's very beautiful, the 16 4 quadrants of 4 and the drum. And the drum is the mother. It's the egg. And the flute is the father. So the flute is the upper world. The drum is the lower world. Gaia, our mother Earth. And nature is God in a native way. That animals have a lot more intelligence than humans do, and so do the plants. So just still being able to learn at 85, I think makes my life. I was watching Dick Van Dyke. He's just coming up on 100, and he's just this amazing man because he's just as lucid as, I say, that's what I'm aiming for. But I have to treat my body nice and take loving care of myself, and don't sweat the small stuff, and it's all small stuff. So the after perseverance comes completion. Like, I've lent my friend Ashley a lot of books. I don't know how many she's read.
Haven't started or finished.
Well, that's the first step of volition. Is what's your intention? And I always like to use what are the 10 things you hold sacred? Because we've covered that in past classes too. Like, and I've done these classes for 30 some years, and I've got answers. I've got journals full of the answers I've gotten about the things people hold sacred. And I don't think money has appeared in any of those. Yet if you ask people how they spend their time, is that aligned with what they value, what they hold sacred? So I donate every year at the end of the year to Native groups, and I collect money for them because that's my giveaway. I have because I learned in fundraising, if you're not making a pledge, you're not going to ask anybody to make a pledge. So it's like people give in light of their ability to give. I'd like to have a 3-year campaign out there to get the thing organized so where it could go on and maybe teach those people that cutting our trees is clear cutting, especially rather than harvesting. They used to harvest. Now it's the other thing I've been noticing is when I look at the posts that people that I follow, I hear she lost her battle with cancer. So it seems like we're fighting everything. We're fighting disease. We're fighting wars. And then we wonder, where's the peacemaker? The native way is you are a spiritual being in the human experience. You are Wakan. That's what Jesus taught us. He says, I am the way, but so are you. I was listening to the Gospel of Thomas, which is one of the lost books of Jesus's nonverbal, the lessons he took that he taught about loving one another and seeing the beauty in everyone, seeing the highest in them. And when I was over in Findhorn, Scotland, I noticed Eileen Caddy was such a beautiful woman. And I was so grateful to be in her presence because she made the point that she has plants that just grow in the worst soil. And they asked her, how does she do this? I just asked the divas where to plant. They tell me. I said, plants have an intelligence 10,000 times greater than humans. So if we have to kill to eat. So you do it in a sacred way. It's like bless the food. God bless this food. You know, like even in military school, I avoided the armed combat, but I did go to military school because my brother went there and I wanted to follow in my brother's footsteps. But thank God I didn't have to go to Vietnam like him, because that was
Yeah.
a terrible war that nobody was proud of the troops that went over to Vietnam. And Bob and I study with Thich Nhat Hanh, which is teaches Buddhism and is from Vietnam, and how politics, money and politics have corrupted. But I say we're out of balance. I'm
One of
out of balance. So living a balanced life is the gift of the North. Is to have balance, a little work, a little play. Like I've been playing my baritone ukulele and my piano, and I've got all these books, plus I've got Bob Hall's books and Brothers' books. So I
well,
got,
that's only 800 or 900 books you need to read. Get on it.
so I can't take a damn thing with me.
That's right.
I love my wife. Loving is giving her tending to her, because she's been very loyal to me, and you reward loyalty. It's what was that great George Bernard Shaw's quote to Winston Churchill? It says, "You have all the qualities of a dog except loyalty." So being loyal is if you got 3 or 4 friends that been with you through the rough and the good times, but they're not fair weather friends. They stick by you and they help. And I tell people there's 3 ways to give, and that's time, talent, or treasure. So some people have money to give, but it's like when I had it, I didn't start raising money for anything till I gave my own money. And then I was able to go. I was doing a campaign for the DePaul Center, a late stage treatment center over in Northwest Portland. And I gave them $500 a year for 3 years. That's a $1,500 pledge. And then I could go ask my friends for $500 because I had given.
Yeah.
But it's real hard to ask somebody for money if you haven't given your money.
Yeah.
So that's what my uncle taught me. He says, campaigns never fail because people say no.
Yeah.
Campaigns fail because nobody's committed. And where your treasures are, there's where your heart is. So
Yeah.
that's the incongruency between what you say you value and what your checkbook says. So the problem with a spendaholic is the more they get in, the more they spend. The tax and spend economy. So I've learned through raising a kid that I've bought her presents, and we went out and got a Christmas tree down the street for a live Christmas tree. Brought it here for Christmas and then took it out to Bear Creek and planted it. I thought, why would you want to kill something? It's like you nurture, you keep it alive. And I'm grateful that the gifts that Mandy and all women have taught me how to do things that I'm having a hard time to do, but I can do them. And I think that peace that you have that is by yourself. There's so many lessons I can learn by myself. When my store's open by appointment, but I'm so codependent, I want to run down there when the bell rings. So I betray myself. So those little acts create resentments, and that's not a prayerful way. Gratitude is reflecting on what I have to be grateful for today. I have enough food for the week. My car is running. I've got people taking care of my outside, taking all the leaves out. And although I read a book that says you ought to just bring the leaves in the house, what makes me think that we have to rake them up and take them somewhere else? Because leaves are fodder for new growth. Everything in nature, there is no waste in nature. So cut myself some slack and not have to be a perfectionism, which is one of the four addictions.
Say, Pat,
Yes, sir.
um, I would just like to say one thing, sort of addressing, uh, lessons of the North and everything as we go towards that, is what for me, it's November and December kind of fly together. And the Buffalo Prayer, which is one of my great things that you gave me, I really enjoy it. But it really, when I read it and I commit to those different things, and to commit to those things, there's actions that I have to take. Most of it's internal, which fits in with the darkness that we're in. Uh, it's so I just want to thank you for passing on that Buffalo prayer to me because it's just so meaningful. It's just, uh, it for me, what it really does is I have a problem with praying because what am I praying for? Because a lot of times I pray for things that have unintended consequences and all of that. And this is just, the Buffalo prayer is just the cleanest verbiage I've seen that's powerful and meaningful.
Yeah,
And I can't see anything that leads me, oops, I wished I wouldn't have prayed for that in there. So I really appreciate it. But so I just wanted to thank you for that because that's
certainly.
one near and dear to me. Uh,
Well, there's two animals in the north. One's a buffalo, and the other one's a horse.
yeah.
The horse is having horse sense. The horses bond with the fearless.
Yeah.
That's why they bond with little girls. Horses. I got through off every horse I tried to ride because I was scared of them, and they pick up fear. So that's why freedom of fear, saying fear is my compass. Whatever I'm most afraid of, move towards. So if I'm afraid of dying, I say, I'll listen to, who is it? One of those podcasts. Sometimes I listen at night. Can't remember his name, but
A
it's
current guy or like Wolfman Jack? He used to be.
no, it's I'll think of him, but I'll listen to something that educates me that I can learn from, and rather than turning on the news. And because I like to focus on being grateful. 12 steps says I can only handle today. If I start to get into tomorrow too much, I'm overwhelmed. That's called the non-progressive Great Spirit. So I read a book by Hugh Prather. It says, what makes me think I'm smarter today than I will be tomorrow? So why do I keep making plans? Say every day we set the volition. Today I plan, and share it with your partner. Share it with a partner. Because keeping it to yourself, you can get by with anything else. In my groups, I would have you pair up and pass a talking stick, and each one of you had 5 minutes to say, who are you beneath all your labels? Just listen. And then you reverse. You pass the stick, and they ask me the same question. And then we come back and we introduce each other, not ourselves. I'd like to introduce the group to Babal. I cooked some chicken today, I want you to know. I'm preparing, there I go preparing tomorrow's meal. But I've got lots of choices, but preparation is 90% of ceremony. So
Yeah.
if I got enough wood, I'll have a warm fire. But if I've shirked on that, so I love Bear Creek, but it's 3 seasons. So the 4 seasons are rough one. So I secure the place, and I've let friends use it. Because what's the use of having something if you can't use it?
Yeah.
So, what time is it?
7:08.
7:08. So we've been going 30 minutes. Well, Bob, have you got that Buffalo prayer you can read?
I sure do.
Well, read it.
Grandfather and grandmother of all spirits, I ask beginning now to peacefully and easily meet whatever challenges are before me. I ask that I cheerfully, enthusiastically, and competently complete the tasks before me. I ask that I understand and release negative patterns holding me back from self-realization, and that those patterns release me. I ask that I attract to myself the people and situations necessary and important to my continued spiritual growth and development. I ask that I learn to love and honor myself more completely, and that I openly and honestly share love with others. I ask for wisdom to speak up for myself in a timely manner. I ask to better understand and share universal love. I ask for the gentleness within myself to touch the gentleness within others. Let me be an instrument of love and peace. I ask that my way be cleared to abundance on this earth plane so that I may put the worry energy I've used to better use. I ask that my heart remains open and that I receive guidance to wisely share that abundance and love. I ask at the appropriate time to meet and recognize my inner teachers. I ask for a companion, a partner on this earth with whom to share the fullness of love. Grandmother and grandfather of all spirits, I offer you my talents and my time and trust to you. Please guide me and help the veil to drop from my eyes that I may clearly see your path. Give me the power, strength, and will to move forward on your road, your good and sweet medicine road. I am yours, Ahi.
Very beautiful.
Yeah, it's just something that just resonates with me.
Well, the buffalo is the sacred pipe of the Lakota. Almost all the tribes had either a peace pipe or a pipe for prayer, and you prayed with that pipe. It was a symbol.
Mhm. Sure.
White Buffalo Calf Woman is the one that brought the lessons of the pipe,
Yeah.
and she says there's 7 lessons. The first one is lend a hand. Lend a hand. That's help. I like helping people out. The second one is good health. Good health in mind, body, spirit, and soul.
Yeah.
Good health, happiness. That's a gift. And especially in 12-step recovery, we say, we are sure Spirit wants us to be happy, joyous, and free. And freedom is just another word for nothing left to lose.
Yeah.
And the other lesson is quietness. That I get to deal with not having noise and busyness around me all the time because I'm by myself. I learn a lot by myself. I learn how easy am I on myself. Learn to say no, or when I feel disrespected, to lend a voice to it. Not afraid of having the backbone. That's a male archetype. The backbone. That means you stand up to bullshit. Or that which you have the courage to change the things I can. Which is basically the only thing I can change is my damn attitude. So, quietness, compassion is another lesson of the pipe of the North, white buffalo calf woman. And generations, respect for the children, like Frankie. He's raw energy. Respect for the adolescents and the adults. The respect for the elders. The third ridge, this time of day, because the medicine wheel is your breath. Like when I can come down and quiet my mad monkey mind by doing that 4, I hold it for 7, and breathe out. And if I'm in the water, like in the morning, that's my best prayer. That's where I connect with Spirit. Say, thank you, Creator, for another day. I'm grateful. Even though it was a tough night, I'll do my best today. And I have some goals I set that I hadn't met, so I'm going to meet them today. So it's not perfectionism. It's the 4 addictions. Perfectionism, intensity. What's the other one, Bob? The need to know.
To be right.
Of the need to know, and spending your time focusing on what's not working rather than what isn't working in your life. So it's attitude. Develop an attitude of gratitude.
Gratitude is the name of the game.
Yeah. So that chop wood, carry water, or soak hides and make drums. I used to make 7 drums a day. Now I make a couple. Hell, that's $400 or $500. So I have enough groceries today if I make 2 drums.
Yeah, that's right.
Or just 1 drum. Just it's a cinch by the inch. So it's not being a rabbit, but also being the turtle, which is the south gate. But the other symbol of the north is the dark night of the soul, because we're moving into the winter solstice. And that's where in recovery they say that's terror, bewilderment, frustration, and despair. The darkest night before the dawn. So going and facing those four horsemen, the flying one.
Could I ask you a question
Yes, sir.
on that with the the going into the dark and all of that, like it's a negative place to go, but in a sense, that's where you go to learn.
Well, that's where you bring a candle.
But yeah, but I mean that seriously. I mean that
Yes,
it
yes,
seems to me that the beauty of the dark is I have time to go into it because I've got that peace and quiet and everything.
yeah, yeah.
And
Well,
sometimes
I'm
yeah,
making the time
yeah.
for
And
peace and
sometimes
quiet.
it can be scary and like any meditation, you can go, you know, you can go and invite your demons to have tea with you or whatever. To,
That's what
both ways.
that's what Reinhard Flatterschler used to teach. He said, when fear comes, invite it in for tea.
Right.
So he was a great drummer, and we had a similar background because we were both in mental institution,
Yeah.
and he was searching for the roots of rhythm,
Ah,
and he developed this amazing process that I tried to get covered over here in America, but nobody wants to talk about the positive news. So it's just how many murder, mayhem. We don't have room to talk about.
yeah.
But that's my 1974 Christmas when I got drunk and knocked down the tree, passed out, and I got right after the first of the year. I went to a treatment center and stayed there 30 days,
30 days.
and came out, and I was ripe. Say, my way ain't working. I give up. I
Okay.
surrender.
Yeah. Surrender is a big part of it.
Yeah, that's because control freaks have a hard time surrendering. It's like there's paradoxes in AA. One's you got to surrender to win.
Yeah.
You got to give it away to keep it. You got to die to live, and you have to suffer to get better. So life is suffering. That's the Buddhist path, and the source of suffering is attachment. So how do you detach every night and fall asleep? Well, my mind's been, how I got through the nights was I just started turning over in the fetal position and doing those breaths.
Yeah. The breaths.
Yes. And I said, well, another sleepless night, and I've got to do this class tonight, so maybe I can get these guys to talk more rather than me talking all the time. But it's called the dark night of the soul,
Yeah.
the winter solstice ceremony. That's snow, the snow queen. Old man winter blows hard. It's just, in Narnia, the snow queen says, there is no spring, there is only winter.
That's the way it feels here.
Yeah, well, anybody living in Minnesota,
I have nobody to blame but myself.
out here they go down to Palm Desert or somewhere, Arizona, or
Yeah.
back east they go down to Florida. So I've got a lot of my relatives that are now on my Facebook page, and they're all Christians. So I say I'm a Christian too, but I wouldn't say I'm a fundamentalist Christian. But I love to read the Gospel of Thomas, which is one of the Nag Hammadi lost Gospels that the church tried to cover up, but they dug them up. And one of Jesus's quotes says, "Seek and you will find, and when you find, you will be troubled." So we have got to go through that, going through the turbulence, like fear is your compass. So I noticed in years of fundraising that a man that has $1 billion has no problem asking for $2 million. So I'm trying to create a church of play. Or what about the church of what's happening now?
Yeah.
And it's called bouncing a ping pong ball 100 times and singing the song with each hand. That's concentration, the ability to stay present rather than getting intense and I got to do something else. I got to do something else. That's the mad monkey mind. So the silence, like when Mandy's not here, God, I got to take care of myself.
Mhm.
Now it's I get to take care of myself. And
That's a big step.
it is. So they say progress, not perfection. So I had to go to 12 years of daily AA meetings just to hear what the hell they said. So I think like a drum, you got to have a good foundation. So over in England, they build those churches on ley lines,
Yeah.
and all the ley lines are aligned with the solstices and the equinoxes. So they're going into the darkness, and then in Celtic lore, between Christmas and New Year's was when all royalty was leveled.
Oh, loyalty?
Royalty.
Royalty. Okay.
Like the king had to dance naked. So the king has to be the most transparent. So in AA, they say there ain't no leaders, there's only trusted servants. So am I serving the government? Is the government serving me? And I was rewatching Bilderberg and some of these things that I'd seen about the rich creating the Federal Reserve and the banksters who make big bucks on wars and the glass ceiling where the people are serving the government rather than to turn that around. The government are supposed to serve us. And they have trusted servants. And in the native way, it's whoever's the most generous is the richest. So they have the giveaway. Like I asked when I bought that place over on Sandy, I asked Martin Highbear, I said, how do you get the attention of the native people? He said, feed them.
Yeah.
So we had the big salmon feast, gave away drums and flutes, and got a big giveaway. And we had an amazing shop over there, but it wasn't working.
Yeah.
Because I took what was working and got into that spell that Bob and I talk about, the more is better.
Always better. So the money.
So if I just had a bigger space, I could make more money. And I didn't think about the overhead that I had to meet. I got in business with this guy that was had a computer for U.S. Bank, and he was making big bucks. And it was really hard to reduce his standard of living to
Yeah.
rather than keep on. And he was an alcoholic, so, he said he was. I don't know, but I loved him, still do. So all the people who come in your life, you say, I'm so grateful that he's straightened out now, because you never know the whole story. So that's why it's important to tell your story, because your story has power. And if you're supported by the elders, like trying to get my car started, something as simple as that. And I called a lot of my friends, and nobody had time to come over and help me. So I was fretting, worrying, and then the Hispanic family that takes care of my yard, I asked the main guy, I said, you know anything about mechanics? He says, sure do. I says, would you start my car? And he came over and started it. I say, wow.
It gave you a jump or did something else?
There wasn't anything wrong with the battery, because first he tested the battery and the battery was fine. So he just put a jumper on it
Yeah.
and let it sit there and charge a little bit.
Yeah.
If you're not running these new cars, the battery runs down. It's always something. But I'm grateful, and I'm starting to learn a little bit about mechanics, like
Yeah.
all those belts run the drives, and the timing belt. But I've got two good vehicles, Subaru and Toyota, and they both run great. And but when I'm here by myself, it's hard to drive two vehicles.
It is.
It is. So I do maintain them. I go out there and start each one of them and let them run. Pump the tires back up, because the tires go flat unless you're driving it. That kind of seals those tires again. But I take it to Les Schwab, and they said, no, you need new rims. I said, no, bullshit. They used to fix your car. They were the best, Les Schwab. And it ain't the same as it used to be. So sometimes you just have to change your attitude. If you find yourself complaining, do not complain, do not criticize, do not compare. It's like comparative analysis. Let's do a comparative study. Well, those are all gifts of the North, because that's analyzing, thinking, using your mind, but realizing your mind's only one aspect of the medicine wheel.
Yeah.
So radical acceptance comes before understanding. That's one of Bob's favorite books that he gave me to read.
Yeah, it is. I think right now it's my favorite book.
And then the other side of that in the East, when the morning is during the night, our chi goes away.
Yeah.
In Tai Chi, which is a China martial art. So every morning we have to hook back up with chi. So my way is in the waters. So I can go in there and I can breathe just the way I love it in here. I'm a water sign. So.
Yeah.
But to force myself to drink water, because a fish doesn't know what water is. They are water. So we need the air, the fire, the earth, the water, the sky, above
Well,
the
we
mother.
need we need everything because we're connected to everything.
Yes, and that's getting out of time is money and getting real. That's the name of my book, Shifting into a Real and Authentic World. From both and, I know, from either or to both and. I am light and dark. I am the beauty and the beast. So don't try to suppress your dark side.
I mean,
It'll bite your ass.
but that's the essence of that radical acceptance book. Is she says you that's there for you to walk through and face that demon. The whole very Buddhist in nature, but that's it's you can't just what she's really getting after is you just can't put avoidance into a container in yourself and go on uh with your life without it coming back and biting you in the butt.
Yep. Well, I figure the more I can deal with in this lifetime, the fewer clutter I'll have going back to spirit. But I've read a lot of books about the afterlife. That's a dream.
Yeah.
I use this figure called Johari's window. And that,
Say
remember that? I believe it's in my Red Road class. I mean, in the picture thing.
yeah.
Johari's window. There's 4 aspects of us, of me.
I'm gonna find it.
Yeah, if you can find it. Okay, let's see. There it is. You just had it.
Oh, but I gotta share it.
There we are. Okay, the first part is the part of me that's open and free, shares with you. The second part is my blind area. I don't see how you see me. So the only way I know how you see me is by you telling me. And then there's the hidden area, those things that I'm hiding and I'm not sharing with you. Just like Fairly Honest Patrick. It's like, but Bill Wilson, co-founder of AA, says, we're only as sick as our secrets.
Yeah, I love that.
We're only as sick as our secrets. And if I'm confessing, which is very Catholic, going to confessional, but that's the 4th step of AA.
Yeah.
And the 5th step is the short version of the 12 steps is I can't, spirit can, I think I'll let spirit. And then do my own inventory, not everybody else's.
Yeah.
So they told me to stay out of relationships for a year on my sobriety and work on your own inventory.
Mm.
Otherwise, you'll be doing the same thing that you've been doing, expecting different results.
Yeah.
So the 4th area is the unknown. That's the dream state. That's the part of it neither one of us can see. I love that. So I could ask to be known by you. I could have full disclosure because transparency is the key to effective community. If I say I'm scared rather than it scares me, that's just being childlike. But our language also reinforces our beliefs. And so the ceremonies are meant to burn away the beliefs by doing the ceremony, where you're going to a church, wherever you're worshiping, and whether it's in a special room you have in your house, where you're not betraying yourself, but building an altar. So I actually came in and got a medicine wheel mat, built on her, I think. You got anything to say? Come on.
About what?
About anything.
Well, I also bought a harmonium from Patrick's shop on Saturday, and that's
On a
been
day I wasn't open.
on a day. I know, it's good to know the boss.
Respect.
You bought a what?
A harmonium.
What is that? I don't know what that is.
It's a pump organ, so it's like
Oh,
it's a piano that you sound
Kind of
by
like a
pumping a bellow.
harmony,
What are those called? It sounds like an organ.
organ, yeah.
Yeah.
the pipes and the organs.
Okay.
The Searchy box is also a place where you can see how the different notes go together.
So it's been great because me and Casey have like we sing together, and so Frankie too. So we try and do it every day, or as much as we can. But ever since we got this new harmonium, because I had an old one and it got out of tune because I was smudging my old house, and I was doing it very carelessly, and an ember fell on my meditation mat, and I left it in there, and I closed the door. Talk about avoidance, and and then 10-15 minutes later, I go and open the door, and the entire room was filled with smoke, and the meditation mat was smoldering. And so this is my old harmonium, and in the harmonium, it almost caught on fire. It had there was still, when I sold the house, a black mark on the wood floor from where it got so heated up.
Where was that?
That was at my old house when I lived on Division.
Division?
Yeah, yeah. But ever since then, it was always a little out of tune, my smoky harmonium. And so it was really discouraging to play, and every time I would play it, I would always think about that stupid moment when I almost burned my house down. So, there was obviously a lot of shame and,
Yeah.
you know, um, and I finally bought a new one, and I resisted for so long because it costs a lot of money. But then I
Yeah.
looked and I was like, well, look at how much money I spent on stupid stuff that doesn't actually bring any value to my life.
It's just clutter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I would spend it on the clutter and then feel bad about spending it on the things that I really want, which I think is almost like a form of self-sabotage in a way.
Bad
Or,
is not a feeling.
huh?
Bad is not a feeling.
That is not a feeling.
I see he and I disagree on that because I maintain that if I drop a bowling ball on his foot, he'll say he's feeling bad.
Well,
Yeah.
my friend here has got great ways of keeping the light, but I feel scared is a feeling,
Mm,
not bad, because good
Yeah.
and bad are judgments.
right.
Yeah.
So my book is shifting into both and. I'm good and bad.
Mm,
So don't suppress the shadow or it'll bite your ass.
yeah. So I guess I feel afraid to buy the things that truly bring me value.
Yeah. But also to learn to circulate your money into things that you value.
Yes. Yeah. So that happened on Saturday, and every night now that I have this instrument that's in tune, it's really brought in new energy into our house, and yeah, it feels really good. And so it's been nice to have that lesson.
Good.
Oh, I said nice, not good. It feels
You'll look at this again,
what?
this video.
I know I will. What is it? I feel. Then what do I feel? I feel gratitude,
Joyful, happy,
joyful,
happy.
happy. But you know, when I was a teenager, I remember someone asked me, like, what are the feelings? And I said, good and bad. What else is there?
Scared, horny,
Yeah,
Yeah, I used
angry.
yeah,
Those are core feelings.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
Desire. That's the great class I went to. Men and the Life of Desire.
Mm,
The beautiful thing that all men should take.
it sounds like a good one.
Yeah. It's Robert Bly, James Hillman, and Michael Mead.
Wow.
Bob and I went to see Michael Mead
yeah.
tell some stories about the Firebird and the Princess Vasilisa and all the mythology. He's a mythologist. So Bob is the scientific method, and I'm more of the other side, the mystery. Because sexual energy, according to Angelus Arian, is a mystery you will never understand. So be very careful, because the scent of a woman is almost irresistible to some when they're ovulating. The men go crazy. But I've also learned to be very careful, be prudent. And prudence is the positive side of fear. Fools rush in where angels fear to tread. So that's the pause power in AA. Is when you're agitated, pause. Don't speak. Take a walk. And don't try to suppress your shadow. The shadow is we all have a shadow. And the Shadow Dance is a great book, because it's like dancing with our dark side. So all these rites of passage that come from the north direction are when you fall asleep tonight. If you fall asleep tonight. How much are you fighting just drifting off?
Just say when you fall asleep.
Well, there's the dream time.
Yeah.
That's the unknown area. That's when your ancestors start working with you. And all those things that you've denied come back up in your face. So in my bedroom, I have a dream catcher.
Hmm.
I say the dream catcher catches all the irregular dreams that can't pass through the center of that spider's web. I teach a class saying, it's easy for you to get caught in the web and have no idea how you got there. The World Wide Web, or whatever web that is, that's spider medicine. Because their medicine is quietness, silence. And they build a net, spider medicine. Mandy can see them. There's spiders up there. I don't even notice them. She's got so I go outside and take all the spider webs out in the fall, because she can walk around. She's being respectful of what she wants.
But spider medicine is good, powerful medicine.
It is.
I had a spider living in my car for like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And every time I came in the car and turn on the music, it would come out and it would try and crawl near me and I would blow it away. But then This one time it crawled up towards me, I blew it away. And it crawled up again, I blew it away, and the third time it stopped before it went and it waited. And then it crawled up, and then when I went to go blow it away, it held on. And it wouldn't let me blow it away anymore. Isn't that so?
That's
Anyway,
great.
after that I realized just, the intelligence of spiders. I couldn't, but so then I was like, but this spider's gonna make me crash my car, so I need to get him out of here. But I didn't want to kill him, so I ended up dropping him off in Laurelhurst Park.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
That is beautiful.
That's a great
That's
story.
a real communion story.
yeah, it was.
Okay, let's wrap this thing up because it's almost 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
Yeah, you look
tired.
haggard.
So, to everyone that'll see this, thank you for being with two geezers and a beauty.
Now, how are you breaking that up?
I'm the beauty. Oh, no. If you can see your own beauty, you can see other people's beauty.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Well, I see 3 geezers.
how do we call that thing? Okay, how do you do that?
Well, all of y'all sleep well.
You too.
We'll do it, my friend. Blessings to all of you. See you next week, hopefully.
Hopefully. We did pretty good on that.
Make no assumptions.
I tell you, last week, everything that could possibly be going wrong with my computer and my Zoom, everything happened all at once. And it was like I could see Pat up here and not see him, but I saw his activity. And it's like I could never. By the time it was like an hour by the time I gave up.
Wow.
All right. Good night.
Good
Stop
night.
the recording.
We're stopping the recording.
Well, I would stop it also.